Greetings and welcome into the State of Education video series brought to you by the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce. I am Ed Kolari, President and CEO of the Alexander City Chamber. A little unique this year due to COVID-19. Instead of an in-person event for the State of Education, we decided to sit down with three leaders in education in the Alexander City community. Today we get an opportunity to sit down with Central Alabama Community College Interim President, Mr. Jeff Lynn. Thank you for joining us. Of course, the State of Education video series would not be possible without our sponsors. We would like to thank our presenting sponsor, Central Alabama Community College, our gold sponsor, T.C. Coley, County Commissioner in District 1. We'd also like to thank our special friends for their support, our good folks over at Covey Rise, as well as the Alexander City Schools Education Foundation. We're going to go ahead and sit down here momentarily with Central Alabama Community College Interim President, Mr. Jeff Lynn. Welcome back into the State of Education. I'm Ed Kolari, and again we are talking about Central Alabama Community College today, a very prime asset right in the middle of our community, and honored and excited to be joined by Interim President Mr. Jeff Lynn. Jeff, thank you so much for your time today and for sitting down with us.
Thank you very much, Ed. I appreciate your time as well.
I know you've been in the community now a few months in
Yes.
this role as Interim President of Central Alabama Community College. I know it's been kind of drinking through a fire hose at this point and getting out and meeting people, but for those who haven't had a chance to meet you, give us a little bit of background on you, where you're
Sure.
from, your experience, and what brought you here to Alexander City.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Alabama and kind of moved around the state a little bit. My dad was with Alabama Power, and then we ended up in Auburn. I finished high school there and college. After college, I left the state for about 31 years. I was in Georgia. I was in hospitality business for a short period of time, and then medical device manufacturing, and then I started working for the state of Georgia in economic workforce development, recruiting companies to move there from across the globe. Governor Jindal got elected in Louisiana, and so they didn't have a program, but they had benchmarked our program, so he hired me to come down and start a program very similar to that. So I did that for almost 8 years and then moved back to Alabama about 4 years ago.
Very nice. Well, we are very excited to have you here.
Thank you. Same here.
Talk about, with your background and your expertise in workforce development, and then you kind of match that up with some of the programming you see here at Central Alabama Community College. What are some of the newer or programs that you're most excited about since you've come aboard here?
Well, one of the things that we're doing is we're really doing a gap analysis, looking at economic development and occupational forecasting and seeing what's driving this energy around here as far as economic drivers. And so we're then doing a crosswalk with our programs, making sure that we have the programs to match what's driving the economy in the area. And so that's a gap analysis. And that's part of our overall program too, called Aspire, and we can talk about that in a few minutes as well. But we've got some new programs, and some of these programs, some of the companies have been wanting to kick them off for quite some time, like the Marine Tech program. We've got a beautiful asset here, Lake Martin. We've got other great lakes around the region, so we're kicking off a new Marine Tech program and really preparing those mechanics to go to work in all our great marinas around here. That's one. We just installed a brand new aviation simulator here to prepare students to go either flight or go straight to Auburn in aviation management. So we're creating I like to call it a 2+2+2, where they're 2 years in high school, 2 years with us, and then 2 years at Auburn. But there's exit points at each juncture where they can end up going to work and making a great living in aviation. We're also looking at a new lineman program, but that's going to be over one of our other campuses over in the Prattville area. And so that's going to be feeding the market for new linemen that we solely need across the state as well. So we have many other programs too, but those are top three right now.
So lots going on, and great to hear it. You mentioned in your previous response about the Aspire 2030 initiative, and in full transparency, I've had the honor of being able to take part in some of those preliminary meetings and discussions, but maybe kind of share that program or what that process is for those folks who haven't had a chance to take part yet.
Absolutely, and thank you very much for participating. So Aspire is a great program. It's called Aspire 2030, and what that is the chancellor of our college system across the state has really embarked and challenged us at every one of our colleges to really look at new ways to engage the community. We have a variety of different programs that we're looking at, but really basically it's really engaging the community in a lot of different areas like strategic planning. You've been involved in that, workforce development, economic development, student success, teaching and learning, technology in the classroom, on and on and on. So what we're doing is we're really doing kind of like the gap analysis that I talked about earlier about programs for the community. We're actually doing an internal check with us to make sure we're doing the best we can. And so it's a really good 360, if you will, where we're getting good feedback from really solid players in the community and finding out what we're good at, what we need to improve on, and what we're not doing that we need to do. And I think, you know, this is a very healthy thing for us. Now, at the end of this, what we're doing is we're competing for bond money.
Okay.
And the bond money, there's a fair amount of money in the bond that we can go after. And I want to get more than the other colleges. And so that's why I've got a really great group of people involved in this program to give us the really good candid feedback that we need. We've got so many great opportunities at CAC, and we just need to leverage those and take off and achieve those very, very rapidly.
No doubt. It sounds like you're headed in a good path.
It's exciting.
In that last question, you know, you answered with the word community a few different times. It's also in the name of the college, Central Alabama Community College. What is the importance or you know, community involvement as far as a community college in your opinion?
Well, you know, kind of blunt, but you know, without a community partnership, a real strong one, not one that's just mediocre, but a real strong, vibrant community partnership at all of our campus locations, we're dead in the water. We're missing the mark. We're not engaging our, you know, if it's small business, large business, our K through 12 partners, et cetera. We have to have them at the table. We have to be great partners with them. We have to listen to them. We have to work together. We have to build, and that's where we can build the best community college in the state of Alabama by doing that. And so I'm excited about what we're doing and learning a lot about, you know, their needs, our needs, and we've resolved some things that I think have been lingering here for quite some time in a matter of days. And, you know, so it's really exciting about talking to people, meeting with them, finding out what those needs are, and then solving them and providing solutions.
Right. With your experience in workforce development, economic development, I mean, you have an extensive background, you know, one of the leaders in that category. Mm-hmm. How do you see Central Alabama Community College, their role in workforce and economic development in this community, in Lake Martin and Alexander City?
Personally, I see us as one of the biggest drivers for economic development, but to do that properly, we have to engage with our partners, right? So. Yeah. You know, our job, if you look at the jobs of the future, they require post-secondary, so they require a high school education, but then some type of certification up to a 2-year degree. So I think we can really make sure that we provide the best programs in those arenas to make sure we hit the market for those. Part of that's very difficult, and that's trying to get parents, teachers, counselors, students excited about those other careers. I mean, we have 2-year programs that actually lead to 6 figures.
Right.
And so I'm not saying that everybody can do that, but, you know, we need to drive those. You know, some of the biggest programs here are healthcare. You know, we've got a great asset here with Russell, you know, Medical Center, and we've got great assets with manufacturing, working with Chad Odom and the Lake Martin Economic Development Alliance and trying to focus on recruitment of new companies into the arena. So I think we're going to be a great asset for that. And I think that that's something I'm very, very excited about.
Speaking of assets, what, you know, in your few months here, what do you recognize, what do you think is CAC's biggest asset?
So, you know, our team has got phenomenal capabilities, and I don't think that they have been leveraged before. So, and what I mean by that is that, you know, when I sat down with our team, you know, and I'm trying to go around and meet everybody at the college, you know, COVID has kind of created a weird situation to come in as an interim president because you don't see the students, you don't get to see the faculty, so you call these meetings and then you're blown away with the talent, the people that we have. And I think that my job is kind of like pulling people together, connecting the dots, energizing people to be as innovative as possible, because we have the solutions. We just need to take them and run with them and enact them. I'm just very bullish about CAC and the CAC's future. I'm so optimistic about what we can do and where we can turn this place into. It energizes me every morning to get up and get here as quickly as possible. Usually I'm the first one on the campus, and you know, a little downtime to get some things done, but the people here are phenomenal, you know, and I think that that's going to help us bode well too. And we've got some openings. We've got a Dean of Instruction position open and a Dean of Workforce position open. So I need rock stars. I need people that have demonstrated their capability and proven their results and are ready to roll up their sleeves and get busy.
Yeah, and we know people are the most important.
Absolutely.
There's some very good ones here, and I'm excited the level of standards you have for trying to attract even better talent.
Absolutely.
When we talk about facilities, kind of shifting gears there, I know it's been tough to kind of meet students and faculty because of the COVID-19, but I know you've had a chance to thoroughly explore this campus. Any facility upgrades that you foresee in the near future? What are some of your thoughts as far as upgrading?
So, you know, I look at things as opportunities, and I think that's one of my biggest opportunities right now. And so there's a lot of deferred maintenance, and so we've got to challenge that. We can't fix it overnight, but what we can do is prioritize. And so I've actually got a new architectural firm coming in, and we're doing a deep analysis of every building. You know, some of the buildings that we have can be renovated, some need to be removed. We need new sports arenas. You know, we need a new baseball field. We need to resurrect the gym. We need to take the auditorium that we have to have plays and musicals and jazz bands and stuff like that and bring that back to CAC. Those are great opportunities for us to engage the community, bring in a new set of students and really excite the community. I would love to house the community coming on the campus for concerts, for lectures or whatever it might be, and reaching out to the community to find out what they really want, and then we can host that here for us. You know, some of the best students are going to be in the arts and crafts and musical areas, and I'd love to host those students as well. I hear great stories about programs that they used to have, and so I kind of want to bring those back, but then add other things that we need to do as well in the same sequence. And
that kind of fits into that community involvement that we were talking about.
Absolutely,
previously.
Absolutely.
I guess I kind of have to ask it, but it's the biggest story of 2020, COVID-19.
Yes.
In full transparency, we're having this conversation at the end of October, and I say that because it seems like there's decisions being made day to day. But
right.
Maybe just talk about some of the challenges that you face with that and kind of where CAC is right now, and maybe any plans kind of going forward as they stand as we sit here today.
Sure. Pandemics are interesting, right? So my job is to make sure that everybody's safe and effective and also efficient in other ways. But as far as pandemics, so we enacted some standards that, we do temperature checks, we code people, with a wristband to make sure. We do a little question, and then we do that for visitors that come into, and we social distance, we wear a mask, etc. So those are the little things that we can do in our part. Now, the challenges are, having our classes virtually and then on Zoom. So everybody's a Zoom expert now or Teams expert. So we're in January of 2021, we're hoping to have all our students back. Now, we'll social distance them and use larger rooms to deliver those classes. Some students cannot learn very well through virtual and through Zoom, so having them back is going to be great. But and I don't think it's going away anytime soon either. I think that we're going to have to make sure that we adapt to it, and then whatever happens next, we just need to take that challenge on and adapt to it as well and keep going. But we have to focus on the students, and we have to focus on the community to be successful at CAC.
No doubt. One day at a time.
Absolutely.
Kind of last question for you, and I kind of want to go back to, you can sense it, and I've sensed it just talking to you privately before we had this conversation today, but you have a real passion for what you're doing, for the leadership that you're providing here at Central Alabama Community College. Everyone in the community is really, really excited to have you here.
Thank you.
What is the foundation of that excitement for you when you talk about, being the first one on campus every day and getting up and being, ready to go? What fuels that?
It's different here. I've always loved what I do, but it's hard not to fall in love with CAC and the team and the community. It's just it hit me a couple days in here. It's like you can drown yourself with opportunities or concerns about what you got to do, and you can over prioritize and stuff like that. But if you start dreaming and walking through the campus about what this place can turn into, you really can get energized. And so, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about other programs that we need to do. And so, but I know that we have to do them in time. We can't do everything overnight, so we have to get the right people in place to make sure that they're sustainable and efficient and they're effective. So I think I fell in love with the community, I fell in love with the people, and I just can't wait to see what it turns into.
Well, I think the rest of us equally agree on that, and just very excited to have you here. I want to personally appreciate you for your time today.
Thank you.
do let you know that we are thrilled to have you here. You know, we talk about it kind of privately, but a lot of our economic development organizations we feel like have very, very strong leadership.
Thank you.
And most significantly with you coming aboard here as the interim president at Central Alabama Community College. But thank you for your time today. I want to thank Mr. Jeff Lynn for joining us on the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce State of the Education. Please stay tuned as we'll have some more information and more insights coming to you here shortly. But appreciate you joining us and look forward to speaking with you soon.